David slammed the folder onto the table so hard the sound echoed through the room. "We're broke." Olivia didn't flinch. She looked at the papers, then at him, then slowly sat down. "Okay." That was it. No panic, no questions, no tears. Just okay. David blinked, caught off guard. "That's all you're going to say?" "What do you want me to say?" she asked calmly. "I just told you we lost everything," he replied, watching her carefully, waiting for something. Anything. "And I heard you." The silence stretched. David felt something tighten in his chest. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. He had imagined shock, maybe even tears. Not this quiet acceptance. "This changes everything, Olivia," he pressed. "No more trips, no more luxury, no more comfort. We're starting from zero." She nodded slowly. "Then we start from zero." He stared at her, frustrated. "You're taking this too well." Olivia met his eyes. "Should I be falling apart? That would be normal." She held his gaze for a moment, then looked down at the papers again. "Not everything needs to be loud to be real, David." That line hit him wrong. Before he could respond, she stood up and picked up the folder. "We'll adjust," she said quietly, walking toward the bedroom. "Adjust." David watched her disappear behind the door, confusion creeping into his thoughts. The moment the door shut, his expression changed. He grabbed his phone. "She didn't react," he muttered. A voice answered almost immediately. "What do you mean she didn't react?" "I mean exactly that," David said, pacing now. "No panic, no questions, nothing." A laugh came from the other end. "That's worse." David stopped walking. "Worse?" "Yeah. It means she's already preparing to leave." David glanced at the bedroom door. "Or she just doesn't care anymore," his friend added. David's jaw tightened. "We'll see about that." Upstairs, Olivia sat quietly on the edge of the bed, her phone glowing in her hand. A message blinked on the screen. "All assets successfully moved. No trace left." She stared at it for a long moment. Then she exhaled slowly. "So, this is what we're doing," she whispered. There was no surprise in her eyes, only disappointment. The next morning felt different, not dramatic, just distant. David noticed immediately. Olivia placed a cup of coffee in front of him without her usual smile, no warmth, no light conversation. "Morning," she said. "Morning," he replied, studying her face. Silence. "So," he started, leaning forward, "we need to figure out what comes next." She nodded. "We cut expenses, we simplify." "That's it?" he asked. "What else is there?" she replied. David frowned. "You don't seem worried." "I am," she said. "You don't look at it." Olivia took a slow sip of her coffee. "Worry doesn't always show on the surface." David leaned back, clearly irritated. "Everything about this should be stressing you out." "It is," she said softly. "Then why are you acting like this?" She met his eyes again. "Because someone has to stay steady." That answer lingered. David didn't like it. Later that day, the changes began. Olivia canceled their weekend reservation. She paused the subscriptions. She even suggested selling one of their cars. David watched everything, a strange mix of satisfaction and unease building inside him. "She's adapting too fast," he muttered to himself. That night, he tried again. "Don't you miss it?" he asked suddenly. "Miss what?" Olivia replied. "Our life." She looked around the room. "This is still our life." "You know what I mean," he snapped. "The lifestyle, the comfort." Olivia leaned back slightly. "Comfort isn't always what it looks like." David frowned. "What does that even mean?" "It means sometimes people are comfortable in ways you don't see." That irritated him. "You're being vague." "And you're being restless," she replied. That was enough. "I just lost everything," David snapped, standing up. "Excuse me if I'm not calm about it." Olivia didn't raise her voice. Did you? He froze. What? Did you lose everything? She repeated. Of course I did. She studied him for a moment, then nodded. Then we'll rebuild. Rebuild. That word again. It should have comforted him. Instead, it made him feel like she was watching him, testing him, and he didn't even realize the truth. Days passed. The distance grew. Olivia became quieter, more distant, less engaged. David tried to provoke reactions. He complained more, raised his voice, created tension. Nothing broke her. One evening, he came home visibly frustrated. I tried getting a loan today, he said, tossing his keys aside. And? She asked. They turned me down. She nodded. Okay. David's frustration exploded. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? She asked calmly. I want you to care. Her expression shifted slightly. I do care. It doesn't feel like it. Silence. Then she spoke, her voice quieter now. Caring doesn't always look like panic. David ran his hand through his hair, pacing. You're acting like this doesn't affect you. It does. Then show it. Olivia stood up slowly. Maybe I don't express my emotions. That hit him harder than expected. He stopped pacing. What's that supposed to mean? It means, she said, looking straight at him, not everything is for display. The room fell silent again. David didn't know how to respond, and that frustrated him even more. That night, he left the house. He needed space. That's when he met her. Lily. She was sitting alone, quietly scrolling through her phone. David hesitated, then sat beside her. Rough day? She asked without looking up. He let out a dry laugh. That obvious? She glanced at him, a small smile forming. You have that look. What look? Like something just fell apart? He exhaled. Yeah, something like that. They started talking. At first it was casual, then it became easy. Too easy. Lily listened, really listened. When he told her he had lost everything, she didn't question him. That must be hard, she said simply. And for the first time in days, David felt understood. No one else seems to get it, he admitted. She shrugged slightly. People deal with things differently. My wife barely reacts, he said. Lily tilted her head. Maybe she's stronger than you think. David scoffed. Or maybe she just doesn't care. Lily didn't argue. She just looked at him thoughtfully. Or maybe, she said slowly, she knows something you don't. David frowned. What does that mean? But Lily only smiled faintly. Just a thought. He brushed it off, but something about that line stayed with him. When David got home, Olivia was still awake, sitting in the dark, waiting. You're late, she said. Yeah, he replied. I needed air. She nodded. No questions, no accusations, just silence. David watched her carefully. Do you even care where I was? He asked. Olivia looked up at him. I care about what matters. And what matters? She held his gaze. You. That answer should have comforted him. Instead, it unsettled him. And right here, before things spiral even further, tell us in the comments. Where are you watching from? We'd love to know our viewers from around the world. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with someone. You don't want to miss how this story unfolds. Because David had no idea he wasn't the only one testing love. David couldn't sleep that night. Olivia's voice lingered in his head. I care about what matters. You. It sounded genuine. Too genuine. But something about her calmness still felt wrong. The next morning, he woke up earlier than usual and found her already dressed, sitting at the table with her laptop open. You're up early, he said. I couldn't sleep, Olivia replied without looking up. Same, David muttered, pouring himself coffee. What are you working on? Just organizing things, she said. Like what? She closed the laptop slowly. Our situation. There it was again. That word, situation. David sat across from her. You talk like this is temporary. She met his eyes. Isn't everything? He frowned. That's not what I meant. I know, she said quietly. Silence settled again. It was becoming a pattern now. Short conversations, unfinished thoughts, tension that never fully exploded. Later that day, David met Lily again. He told himself it was just a coincidence. It wasn't. You came back, Lily said, a soft smile forming. I needed somewhere quiet, David replied, sitting down. You mean somewhere that listens, she teased gently. He smirked. Something like that. They talked longer this time. About life, about pressure, about expectations. And slowly, David found himself saying things he hadn't even told Olivia. I feel like I'm being watched, he admitted at one point. Lily raised an eyebrow. Watched? Not literally, he said. Just like everything I do is being observed. By your wife? He hesitated. Yeah. Lily leaned back slightly. Maybe she's trying to understand you. David shook his head. No, it feels different. How? Like she already knows something. Lily didn't respond immediately. She just studied him. That's an interesting feeling, she said finally. David laughed dryly. You think I'm overthinking, don't you? I think, she said carefully, people reveal themselves when they think no one is watching. That line hit him, harder than expected. What's that supposed to mean? He asked. It means, Lily said softly, sometimes the real test isn't what we say. It's what we do when we think it doesn't matter. David frowned. For a moment he felt like the conversation had shifted somewhere deeper, somewhere uncomfortable. But he brushed it off. That night when he got home, Olivia was cooking. That alone surprised him. The smell filled the kitchen, warm and familiar. You cooked? He asked. She nodded. I thought we could eat together. He stood there for a moment, unsure how to react. This felt normal. Too normal. They sat across from each other. For the first time in days, the silence wasn't heavy. How was your day? Olivia asked. Fine, he replied. Yours? Productive. Another vague answer. David put his fork down. Why do you keep doing that? Doing what? Answering everything like it doesn't matter. Olivia looked at him calmly. Not everything needs a long explanation. But it feels like you're hiding something. Her expression didn't change. Are you? The question caught him off guard. What? Are you hiding something? She repeated. David scoffed. Of course not. Olivia held his gaze for a second longer than usual, then nodded. Good. The conversation ended there. But the tension didn't. Over the next few days, things shifted again. Olivia became even more distant, less present. She spent more time on her phone, more time out of the house. David noticed, and it bothered him. One evening, he finally confronted her. You've been gone a lot lately, he said. I've had things to take care of, she replied. What things? She paused. Things that matter. That's not an answer, he snapped. That's enough for one. David's frustration boiled over. Are you seeing someone? The question hung in the air. Olivia didn't react immediately. She just looked at him. Why would you ask that? She said quietly. Because you're acting differently, he replied. Because you're distant. Because you don't care anymore. A small, almost invisible smile crossed her face. You think, I don't care, she asked. It feels like it. Olivia stepped closer to him. David, she said softly, not everything is what it feels like. That line again. He was starting to hate it. Then what is it? He demanded. She looked at him. Really looked at him. And for a brief moment, something cracked, not in anger, not in sadness, but in something deeper. "You'll understand soon," she said. Then she walked away. That night, David couldn't shake the feeling. Something was wrong, not with the situation, with her, or maybe with him. The next day, he went straight to Lily. "I think she's hiding something," he said as soon as he sat down. Lily raised an eyebrow. "That was fast. She's been distant, secretive. She barely talks to me anymore." "And what have you been doing?" Lily asked. David frowned. "What do you mean?" "I mean," she said calmly, "have you been present? Honest? Open?" He hesitated. "Of course," he said. Lily tilted her head slightly. "Are you sure?" That question again. Why did everyone keep turning things back on him? "I'm the one who lost everything," he said defensively. "I'm the one trying to fix things." "And she's the one adapting," Lily replied. David sighed. "You sound like you're defending her." "I'm not defending anyone," Lily said. "I'm just observing." "Observing what?" "You," she said simply. That made him uncomfortable. "Why?" "Because," Lily continued, "you're not just reacting to her. You're reacting to what you expected her to be." David leaned back, processing that. "So, you think I'm the problem?" "I think," Lily said softly, "there's more going on than you realize." That line again. More than you realize. It followed him everywhere now. When he got home later that evening, Olivia wasn't there. He waited and waited. Hours passed. Finally, close to midnight, she walked in. "You're late," he said immediately. "I had things to do," she replied calmly. "What things?" he pressed. She didn't answer. "Olivia, I'm talking to you." She stopped, then turned slowly. "I heard you." "Then answer me." She looked at him for a long moment. Then she said something that hit harder than anything else. "Why does it matter now?" David froze. "What do you mean?" "You didn't seem this concerned before," she said. "Before what?" "Before everything changed." Her words carried weight, more than he understood. "I'm your husband," he said. "Of course it matters." Olivia nodded slowly. "Yes," she said, "you are." And then she walked past him, leaving him standing there, confused, frustrated, and slowly losing control of a situation he thought he was managing. And just before things spiral even further, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from right now? We love seeing how far these stories reach. And if you're enjoying this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this story. Because what David still doesn't realize is that every move he makes is already being seen. The distance between them didn't explode. It stretched, quietly, slowly, until it felt impossible to cross. David started noticing the smallest things. Olivia stopped asking where he was going, stopped checking in, stopped caring. At least, that's how it looked. One evening, he stood by the door, watching her scroll through her phone. "I'm heading out," he said. She nodded without looking up. "Okay." That was it. "No, where are you going? No, what time will you be back? Just, okay." It irritated him more than anger would have. "Don't you want to know where I'm going?" he asked. She finally looked up. "Does it change anything?" "What kind of question is that?" he snapped. "A real one," she replied calmly. David shook his head. "You've changed." Olivia held his gaze. "Have I?" "Yes." She studied him for a second. "Or maybe you're just noticing things you ignored before." That hit deeper than he expected. He didn't respond. He just left. And as usual, he found himself with Lily. "You look worse today," Lily said as he sat down. "Thanks," he muttered. "I mean it," she added gently. "Something's eating at you." David leaned forward, rubbing his face. She doesn't care anymore. Lily didn't react immediately. What makes you say that? She doesn't ask about me. She doesn't question anything. It's like I don't exist to her anymore. Lily watched him carefully. And that bothers you? Of course it does, he said. Why? David frowned. What do you mean, why? You said you wanted to see if she loved you, Lily continued. Isn't this your answer? That question stopped him. It should have satisfied him, but it didn't. It doesn't feel right, he admitted. How is it supposed to feel? I don't know, he said, frustrated. Not like this. Lily leaned back slightly. Maybe you weren't ready for the answer. David shook his head. No. Something's off. Lily tilted her head. Like what? Like she knows something, he said quietly. Lily's eyes lingered on him. And if she does? She asked. David hesitated. I don't know, he admitted. Then maybe that's what you should figure out, Lily said. Her tone wasn't playful this time. It was serious. And for the first time, David felt something shift inside him. A small crack in his certainty. That night, he didn't go straight home. He sat in his car, staring at the dark windows of the house, thinking. Then finally, he went inside. Olivia was in the living room, reading, calm, always calm. We need to talk, he said. She closed her book slowly. Okay. David took a step closer. Are you hiding something from me? She didn't answer immediately. She just looked at him. Why would you ask that? She said. Because nothing makes sense, he replied. Your reactions, your behavior, everything feels calculated. That word hung in the air, calculated. Olivia's expression didn't change. Interesting, she said. What is? He pressed. That you're noticing patterns now. David frowned. What does that mean? It means, she said softly, you're starting to pay attention. His patience snapped. Olivia, stop speaking in riddles and just answer me. The room fell silent. For a moment, it looked like she might say something real, something honest, but then, not yet, she said. David stared at her. Not yet. You'll understand soon. That was it. Again. He stepped back, running a hand through his hair. This is insane. Is it? She asked. Yes, because I feel like I'm losing my mind trying to figure you out. Olivia stood up slowly. Maybe, she said. You're not supposed to figure me out. Then what am I supposed to do? He demanded. She held his gaze. Be honest. The word hit him like a slap. Honest? He repeated. Yes. I am being honest. Olivia's eyes didn't waver. No, she said quietly. You're not. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. David looked away first. And that said everything. The next day, everything shifted. David wasn't looking for it. He just found it. He had gone into Olivia's study, something he rarely did. Her laptop sat open, unlocked. That alone was unusual. He hesitated, then stepped closer. His heart started beating faster. I shouldn't, he muttered. But he didn't stop. He looked, and what he saw made his stomach drop. Emails, bank confirmations, transfer records, not losses, movements, calculated, precise movements. The money wasn't gone. It had been hidden. His breath caught. No, 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 no. He scrolled faster, more proof, more details. Every move he made documented, tracked, understood. His hands started shaking. She knew. The realization hit him all at once, from the very beginning. Olivia knew. Every fake loss, every hidden account, every lie. She knew. He stepped back from the laptop like it had burned him. Suddenly, everything made sense. Her calm, her distance, her silence. It wasn't indifference, it was awareness, and something else. Something worse. Disappointment. David stumbled out of the room, his mind racing. I need to talk to her. But before he could move further, the front door opened. Olivia walked in. She stopped when she saw him, standing there, shaken, different. Their eyes met, and for the first time, there was no mystery left. "Now you know," she said quietly. David swallowed hard. You knew?" "From the beginning." The words landed like a final blow. "Why didn't you say anything?" he demanded. Olivia stepped closer. "Because," she said, her voice steady, "you were testing me." David's chest tightened. "So I let you." Silence filled the room. "You let me?" he whispered. "Yes." Her eyes held his. "And while you were testing my love," she paused, just long enough for it to hurt, "I was watching your character." The truth hit deeper than anything before. David took a step back. "No, that's not fair." "Isn't it?" she asked. "I was trying to understand if you loved me." "And I was trying to understand who you really are," she replied. That shut him up. For once, he had no defense. And right here, pause for a second. If this moment shocked you, comment below where you're watching from. We love seeing our audience around the world. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with someone, because the ending of this story is something you don't want to miss. Because what David thought was a simple test, it was about to cost him everything. David shook his head slowly, like he could push the truth away if he refused to accept it. "No," he said under his breath. "No, this doesn't make sense." Olivia didn't move. "It makes perfect sense." "You knew everything," he snapped, his voice rising. "You watched me go through all of this, and you said nothing?" "Yes." The calmness in her voice only made it worse. "Why?" he demanded. "Why would you do that?" Olivia took a slow breath. "Because you were trying to test me." "That doesn't justify this." "It does," she said quietly. "Because the moment you decided to test me, you changed everything." David let out a bitter laugh. "So what? You decided to play along? Pretend like you didn't care?" "I didn't pretend," she replied. That stopped him. "What?" "I didn't pretend," she repeated. "I observed." The word is different now. Observed. David ran a hand through his hair. "So all this time, the distance, the silence—" "I was watching you," she said. "For what? For truth?" he scoffed. "And what did you find?" Olivia held his gaze. "You tell me." That answer felt like a trap. David looked away first. "I didn't do anything wrong." "Didn't you?" she asked. "I was trying to protect myself." "From what?" "From being used," he snapped. "From being loved only because of what I have." Olivia's expression softened slightly, not in sympathy, but in understanding. "And what did you learn?" she asked. David hesitated. "I learned—" he started, then stopped. The words didn't come, because deep down, he already knew. Olivia stepped closer. "You didn't just test my love, David," she said. "You created a situation where trust didn't exist." "That's not true." "It is," she replied, "because love without trust isn't love. It's control." That word hit harder than anything else. Control. "I wasn't controlling you," he argued. "You were controlling the situation," she said. "You decided what I knew. You decided what was real. You decided how I would react." David opened his mouth to respond, but nothing came out, because she wasn't wrong. "And while you were doing that," Olivia continued, her voice steady, "I decided to step back and see who you would become without that control." The room felt smaller, tighter. "And what did you see?" he asked quietly. Olivia didn't answer immediately. She studied him. Then she said the one thing he wasn't ready to hear. "I saw you drift." His chest tightened. "Drift?" "Yes." "Into what?" She didn't hesitate this time. "Into someone else." The words landed like a final blow. David's stomach dropped. That's not, it is, she cut in. He shook his head. You don't understand. I understand more than you think. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. You met her the same night you walked out, Olivia said. David froze. You've been following me? No, she replied calmly. I've been aware. That's not possible, he said, his voice lower now. Olivia tilted her head slightly. Isn't it? David's mind raced. Every meeting with Lily, every conversation, every moment he thought was private. You knew? He whispered. Yes. And you didn't say anything? No. Why? This time, Olivia's expression shifted, not calm, not distant, but something deeper. Because I needed to see how far you would go. The answer didn't come out as words, but it was written all over her face. David stepped back, overwhelmed. This is insane, he said. Is it? She asked. Yes, because you just stood there and watched me. Make your own choices, she finished. He stopped. That was it. That was the truth. I didn't force you to meet her, Olivia said. I didn't force you to open up to her. I didn't force you to find comfort in someone else. David's voice dropped. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? She asked. He hesitated. It was just talking. Just talking, Olivia repeated. Yes. About things you didn't talk to me about? That question cut deep. I tried to talk to you, he said. And I was there, she replied. You just didn't like the way I responded. Silence. Again. You wanted a reaction, she continued. You wanted me to panic, to break, to prove something to you. And you didn't, he said. No, she agreed, because love isn't performance. That line again. Now it made sense. David looked at her differently now, not confused, not frustrated, but exposed. And her? Olivia asked softly. David's chest tightened. What about her? Did she give you what you were looking for? He didn't answer, because the truth was complicated. Yes, he finally admitted. She listened. Olivia nodded slowly. And that was enough? For a while, he said quietly. For a while, she repeated. Then she stepped back, creating distance. Real distance this time. I think we're done here, she said. The words didn't register immediately. What? He asked. I've seen enough, she continued. Seen enough of what? Of you. That hit harder than anything else. You're just going to walk away? He asked, disbelief creeping into his voice. Olivia looked at him, not with anger, not with sadness, but with clarity. You walked away first, she said. David shook his head. No, I didn't. You just didn't realize it, she finished. The truth sat between them, unavoidable, painful, real. And now? He asked quietly. Olivia took a slow breath. Now I choose myself. Silence. Final. David stood there, searching for something to say, something to fix it. But for the first time, he had nothing. No control, no strategy, no test, just consequences. And just before the story reaches its final turn, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We love seeing how far this story travels across the world. And if you've made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone. Because the ending will stay with you. Olivia turned and walked toward the door. David didn't stop her. He couldn't. Because deep down, he knew. This wasn't something he could fix anymore. The door closed behind Olivia with a quiet finality that felt louder than anything David had ever heard. He stood there long after she was gone, not moving, not thinking, just standing. The silence in the house felt different now, not heavy, not tense, empty, completely empty. For the first time, there was no confusion, no guessing, no trying to figure her out, because now he understood, and it was too late. David ran a hand through his hair, pacing slowly. No, no, I can fix this, he muttered. He grabbed his phone and dialed her number. It rang and rang. Then I went to voicemail. Olivia, listen, we need to talk. I understand now. I get it. Just call me back. He hung up, exhaling sharply. Minutes passed. No response. He tried again. Same result. That's when the panic started to creep in. Not the kind he expected from her, the kind he never thought he'd feel himself. He grabbed his keys and rushed out. He didn't even think. He just drove, straight to the only other place that made sense. Lily. She looked up the moment he walked in. Something in his face told her everything had changed. You look like you lost more than money this time, she said quietly. David didn't sit immediately. I need to talk to you, he said. Lily nodded slowly. Okay. He finally sat down, running both hands over his face. She knew, he said. Lily didn't react with surprise, just silence. She knew everything, he continued. From the beginning, the money, the test, everything. Still, Lily said nothing. She let me go through all of it, David added, his voice tightening. She watched me fall apart, watched me drift. Lily leaned forward slightly. And what did that show her? David looked at her, frustrated. That's not the point. It is, she said calmly. He clenched his jaw. I messed up, okay? I get that now. I need to fix it. And you came here first? Lily asked. The question hit harder than expected. David hesitated. I didn't think... Exactly, she said softly. Silence. David looked down at the table. I thought about what we had... He started, then stopped. Lily watched him carefully. What did you think we had? He didn't answer immediately, because now it sounded different in his head. It felt real, he admitted. Lily nodded slowly. It felt real because you were being honest here. That stung. And at home? She continued. David swallowed. I wasn't. No, Lily agreed. You were performing there too, just in a different way. David leaned back, staring at the ceiling. I didn't mean for any of this to happen, he said. But it did, Lily replied. Another silence. Then she asked the question he wasn't ready for. If she takes you back, what happens to me? David froze. The answer should have been simple, immediate, clear. But it wasn't. He started. Nothing came out. Lily smiled faintly. That's what I thought. It's not like that, he said quickly. Then what is it like? She asked. He struggled to respond, because the truth was finally catching up to him. Lily sat back, her expression calm but firm. I was never the problem, David, she said. And neither was she. He looked at her, confused. The problem, she continued, is that you didn't know what you wanted until you started losing everything. That hit deep. And now? She asked. David exhaled slowly. Now I just want to fix my marriage. Lily nodded. There was no anger in her face, no bitterness, just understanding. Then you should go, she said. He blinked. What? You should go, she repeated, because whatever this was, it was never meant to last. David stared at her. You're just letting me walk away? Lily gave a small, almost sad smile. I'm choosing not to hold on to something that was built on confusion. Her words were calm, but they cut clean. David stood up slowly. I'm sorry, he said. I know, she replied. And just like that, it ended. No drama, no shouting, just clarity. David walked out, feeling lighter, but also more alone than ever. This time, he drove straight to Olivia. He didn't hesitate. He knocked on the door. Once, twice. Then it opened. Olivia stood there, calm, composed, unshaken, just like always. Olivia? he started. She didn't invite him in. Say what you need to say, she replied. David swallowed hard. I was wrong. She didn't react. I see everything now, he continued. I see what I did, the test, the lies, even Lily, I get it now. Still nothing. I want to fix this, he said. I want to fix us. Silence. Then Olivia finally spoke. There is no us to fix. The words landed softly, but they shattered everything. David shook his head. No, don't say that. We can work through this. Can we? She asked. Yes, he said quickly. We've been through worse. Olivia tilted her head slightly. Have we? That question stopped him. Because from where I stand, she continued, this is the first time I've truly seen you. David's chest tightened. And, she held his gaze, I don't recognize you. That hurt more than anger ever could. I made a mistake, he said. You made a choice, she corrected. Silence. I can change, he added quickly. Olivia nodded slowly. I believe you. Hope flickered in his eyes. Then, but I'm not waiting to find out, she finished. The hope disappeared instantly. Olivia, please. She stepped back slightly. David, she said softly, you didn't just test my love. He went quiet. You showed me what life with you would feel like without trust. Her words were steady, clear, final. And I don't want that life. David felt his throat tighten. So that's it? He asked. That's it. No hesitation, no doubt, just the truth. He stood there, searching for something, anything, to hold on to, but there was nothing left. Olivia took a slow breath. I hope you find what you're looking for, she said. Then she paused. And next time, don't test it. The door closed, gently, completely. David stood there for a long time, long after the moment had passed, long after the chance was gone, and for the first time, there was no one left to explain it to, no one left to fix it with, no one is left to blame. Just him, and the weight of everything he had done. Weeks passed, the house felt colder, quieter, bigger. David went through the motions, work, silence, regret. Sometimes he picks up his phone, then put it down, because there was nothing left to say, and no one left who wanted to hear it. One evening, he sat alone, staring out the window, thinking about everything, the test, the lies, the moment she said, okay. He finally understood what it meant. It wasn't accepted. It wasn't indifference. It was the moment she stopped trusting him. And he didn't even see it, not until it was too late. And right here, before we end, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We'd love to know how far this story has reached around the world. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with someone. Because stories like this stay with you. David leaned back, closing his eyes. He wanted proof of love, but in the end, all he proved, how easily he could lose it.